Hello everyone and welcome to our channel The Punjabis, and finally I'm shooting the first episode of my podcast series Har Shakhs Ka Aks. And the first guest we have on our show is none other than Saru Mukherjee Sharma. From completing her BBA to working for different MNCs, night shifts, right? And then becoming a mother and finally finding something to do what she actually loves. She's a well-known name in parenting and lifestyle blogging industry. I'm not even sure if it's, blogging or influencer industry, what exactly it is. इन्हीं से पूछते हैं, right? और कैसा लग रहा है आपको? You are the first guest, on this podcast.
I'm really honored and privileged.
One more feather to your hat, right?
Absolutely. Feeling very special to be part of your podcast.
You should be, right?
Yeah, but actually I'm very excited about this. This is something that you have been manifesting or planning since a very long time.
Yeah, I guess it's been 2 years or probably more.
Yeah, probably more. And
Yeah.
this is something you always wanted to do. So I'm really glad that you're finally doing this.
अच्छा मेरे को एक बात बताओ यार, क्या confusion है? What is this? Blogging or influencing? What it is?
Blogging is basically when you have those blogs, websites where you write articles and everything.
Right.
Detailed information is there. So those are actually blogs. So I did have a blog. I actually did start with a blog, which was Diapers and Lipsticks blog. It used to be called blogging. But what we do on Instagram, that is not blogging, because although there is write up and all that stuff is there, writing content is there, but it is not actually a blogging. Right?
It is not blogging.
Yeah, it's not a blog. So we have finally found a better word, content creation, and that is what we do. I feel that personally we should be called digital content creators. Influencer, I personally don't like calling myself as an influencer. I mean, one should not call themselves influencer. That is something, because this is something that other person should tell you whether you are influential.
But
or
you
not.
do influence so many people. You do influence even to buy stuff on Instagram. So
Yes.
isn't it like that's what influencing is about?
Yeah, it is influencing, but still I feel influencing is not really a profession. One should not call themselves influencer. It's I think credibility that you get when you read somewhere, but yeah, you cannot call yourself or your profession as an influencer. So yeah.
So you mean to say that influencing or being an influencer is not a profession, but probably content creation is.
Exactly. Yeah.
So a professional
Influencing
term.
is a byproduct of the content creation that you do, basically.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, so I guess
You have your
कुछ तो
answer.
clarity हुई, है ना?
I'm glad.
What was your childhood like? Like, I know all the stories and everything, right? बहुत amazing. बहुत कुछ है उसमें. बहुत कुछ है. I know for a fact there have been few things that happened in your childhood जिसकी वजह से जो भी तुम्हारी आज पर्सनालिटी है, whatever you are today, उसका बहुत बड़ा रोल है उन कुछ कहानियों का, उन घटनाओं का आपकी लाइफ में.
I think that is true for everyone. Whatever happens in our childhood, or however we have been in our childhood, it stays throughout the life. Nobody can eradicate that part of your life and say ki today whatever I am, it's because 10 years past whatever I did. So yeah, childhood I think always builds up the lifelong characteristics that a person possesses or achieves.
So I was asking, like, for one incident, I would really want to, just talk about it. कुछ ऐसा हुआ था तुम्हारी लाइफ में when you made sure कुछ नहीं, इंग्लिश तो मैंने सीखनी है और बोलनी है अच्छे से, no matter what.
Yeah.
और can you share that particular incident with us?
So to give a background that मेरी जो schooling है, मेरी और मेरी sister की जो schooling, it hasn't been very great. My parents come from a place where they had little to no education. We are from West Bengal, those of you who don't know. And I was actually born in a village. I mean, although my parents had moved to Nepal and from Nepal to Ludhiana for work, my dad had moved. But our roots are in a small village in Bengal. That's where my nani and dadi places. So, coming from that place, my parents obviously didn't know any better, coming to a new city and everything.
Yeah.
So, and also back then, financially, my parents were not that sound that they could send us to a good school. So whatever was nearby, we went to those schools. I studied in Punjabi medium schools.
I was going to come to that as well, your schooling. But yeah, you keep talking.
Because background देना जरूरी था.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
So yeah, तो मेरे लिए तो the kind of environment we grew up in, English का कोई दूर दूर तक लेना देना नहीं था. It's not even our first language.
Yeah.
But एक सोसाइटी में एक वेटेज दी जाती है इस लैंग्वेज को.
True.
That चाहे आपने पढ़ाई की हो चाहे नहीं की हो, चाहे you are zero at studies, but if you can speak English fluently, you're somewhere. Like people will look up to you, and I don't understand this.
Exactly, and I hate it.
Exactly.
मेरे को जब इंग्लिश बोलनी मैं तब बोलूंगा, अगर मेरे को आती है. मेरे को जब पंजाबी बोलनी मैं पंजाबी बोल, because it's just a language.
Exactly.
It's the medium of communication. Right? किसी भी language में communicate करो यार. क्यों
हमारी कंट्री में इस लैंग्वेज को इतनी ज्यादा तवज्जो दी जाती है.
Yeah.
And when I look at Asians, they're proud of whatever.
Exactly.
And if you want to talk to us, you learn our language. Why should we learn your language?
Exactly.
And the irony is, right now our podcast is happening in English.
No, it's a mix of everything. मैं तो पंजाबी भी गल कर लूंगा यार, मैंने कोई टेंशन नहीं. Whichever language you are comfortable with. So yeah.
Yeah. So coming to your answer, your question. So basically, my dad, he wanted to move to UK, United Kingdom, for work, and he went for interview at the embassy, and his interview, like, he got rejected on the basis that he couldn't speak English,
right?
And he felt very embarrassed about it, and when he came back, he felt humiliated somehow. And as a child, anything you can bear. आप कुछ भी बर्दाश्त कर लेते हो, लेकिन ये चीज ना, that your father feeling humiliated is a feeling that it gets stuck to a child, I think.
The thing is, even today, no matter how old you get, how grown up you get,
exactly,
you can't bear that your parents feeling that way.
So when he told me that अच्छा मेरा इंटरव्यू नहीं हुआ, काश मैंने पढ़ाई की होती, काश मुझे इंग्लिश आती, तो आज मुझे इतनी एम्बैरेसमेंट फील नहीं करनी पड़ती. उस टाइम पे मुझे और कुछ, ये जो हमने ऑब्वियसली आज हम रियलाइज करते हैं कि एक लैंग्वेज ही है, बस उस टाइम पे ऐसे लगा कि अच्छा यार, ये लैंग्वेज ना बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है लाइफ में आगे बढ़ने के लिए. बिकॉज सिर्फ वो एक इंसिडेंट नहीं था, वो एक, आई थिंक वो एक ट्रिगर था, बट लॉट ऑफ अदर टाइम्स दैट, क्योंकि हम इतने ऐसे स्कूल में थे कि वहां पे इंग्लिश का दूर दूर तक कोई लेना देना ही नहीं था, और हमारे आसपास कभी कोई बच्चा अगर कुछ इंग्लिश का एक वर्ड भी बोल देता था.
So coming to that, I guess people around you, everyone around you thinks कि तुम कॉन्वेंट की पढ़ी हो. The way you carry yourself, the way you talk, the way your personality is, the whole thing.
Exactly.
They really think, even so many people still in Ludhiana, in your circle, they don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Which school you come from.
I sort of took it as a challenge, and I actually enjoyed it. I remember my tutor once came to me and she said, "New pinch," and I was there. I was laughing. I was like, why is she doing it? Why is she pinching me? What is it? What does it even mean? She said, "New pinch." What? You're supposed to say thank you? I didn't understand the relevance of it, but one of the most embarrassing moments of my childhood. So these small moments, I was like, okay, I've got to learn this language somehow. So we would buddy up in my school. So one more funny incident. We had a new student in our class who was failed from a CBSE school. So she was definitely better than the rest of us. So I took that opportunity, यार इसको better आती है मेरे से English, इसके साथ मैंने friendship करनी है और इससे सीखना है मुझे. So we used to buddy up, and I was the only, and me along with her was the only two students from my class who took all the subjects in English medium. Rest were all doing Hindi and Punjabi medium.
कुछ लोगों को ये पता भी नहीं होगा कि ऐसा होता है एक ही स्कूल में. You get both. इंग्लिश मीडियम, हिंदी मीडियम. तुम्हें अंग्रेजी में वो वाले विषय पढ़ने हैं या तुम्हें इंग्लिश में वो सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ने हैं.
Glad हमें दिया गया, otherwise मैं पागल हो जाती वो मैथ्स में वो संख्या and all that.
Oh God, don't even get me started. Yeah. I've been with people जो हिंदी मीडियम में पढ़ रहे थे उस टाइम पे. और मतलब she was my neighbor in 10th standard. She was very intelligent.
Yeah.
और वो कभी कभी अपनी मैथ्स प्रॉब्लम लेके मेरे पास आ जाती थी और वो हिंदी में होता था. मैं ऐसा तो भाई इसको क्या बोलते हैं, I don't know, I can't.
When I realized that I have to get at it somehow. This language seems very important to sustain in life, and कहीं ना कहीं है भी ये सच. It has become a global language. Although I've met some amazing people who don't speak English at all, but still they're so confident and comfortable with who they are that they tell the other person कि आप हिंदी में प्लीज बात कर सकते हैं.
हाँ, and that is how it should be. मतलब अगर आपको एक लैंग्वेज है यार, क्यों इतना हवा बना रखा है हमने इस चीज को, और क्यों इतना ज्यादा वो कर रखा है, आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. हाँ ठीक है, जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल वेयर आई वर्क, राइट नाउ द जॉब इज सच कि आपको बात ही उन लोगों से करनी है जिनको दूसरी लैंग्वेज नहीं होती, और वो आपके क्लाइंट्स हैं. तो आपको अपने क्लाइंट की जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट है वो केटर करनी है. और अगर आप अपने क्लाइंट से बात ही नहीं कर पाओगे तो वो रिक्वायरमेंट पूरी नहीं होगी ना. तो देयर आई अंडरस्टैंड, ठीक है, यू आर वर्किंग इन सच अ प्लेस कि वहां पे आपको ये चाहिए चीज, राइट, दैट आई अंडरस्टैंड. देयर विल बी सम प्लेसेस वेयर पीपल जस्ट लुक डाउन एट यू. और मतलब ना मेरे को वो भी बहुत अजीब लगता है. मतलब जस्ट टेल मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग, कि अब जैसे कोई वर्ड है, कोई फैंसी वर्ड कोई बंदा लेके आएगा और वो फैंसी वर्ड वो यूज करेगा, और तुम सोचते रहोगे यार अब इसका क्या मतलब है. तो तुम्हें फटाफट से ना आई हैव डन दैट, मैं गूगल करूंगा यार इसका क्या मतलब है, गूगल करूंगा कि, और उसका पता चलेगा कि गूगल बताएगा कि इसका बहुत सिंपल सा एक और दूसरा मीनिंग था जो कि ये वर्ड था. अबे तूने ये क्यों नहीं यूज किया यार, मेरे को तो आता था ये.
सो मुझे ऐसा लगता है sometimes people are not deliberately doing it. They probably have been using that word or have heard that word so many times that for them it's not a new word, it's a common word. I personally have done that too. But to look down upon the other person who doesn't know that word is not justified. अगर आपको लगता है कि दूसरे बंदे को समझ नहीं आया, you can just tell okay the synonym उस word का, but आप उसका मजाक उड़ाओ वो सही नहीं है. I think
you used to do that, remember? I used to get so pissed off at you, so pissed off. Yeah. She would correct me. इस word को ना ऐसे pronounce करते हैं.
Pronunciation is still my biggest pet peeve. अगर कोई किसी को
again ये pet peeve क्या होता है? इसका कुछ साधारण शब्द इस्तेमाल करके बताइए हमें.
मतलब आपका kind of something that turns you off and something that you kind of fear. Yeah, कि यार this is something
मेरे को करेक्ट करना ही पड़ेगा.
हाँ, like pronunciation should be correct. मुझे ऐसा पर्सनली लगता है, और मुझे इस चीज से होता है थोड़ा सा यार प्लीज इसको, जैसे for me like right now if someone calls content creation, it's such a big turn off for me.
No, it's not turn off. Content and content. These are two different words with two different meanings. तो वहाँ पे I would understand.
बहुत लोग
तो
जिन लोगों को like people who do speak the language, they do call इसका content बनाया हमने content, and I'm like यार ये अलग word है.
और अभी कुछ टाइम पहले you and Rudy you teamed up against me और मेरा मजाक बनाया था. Do you even remember in the car that word?
Which word was it?
I was trying to say ear and I said ear and you were like ear.
So Sumit के कुछ एक words है which he can never get it right and he would not even try.
I do get it right. It depends मैं किस बंदे के साथ किस टाइम पे कैसे बात कर रहा हूँ.
इसमें बंदे वाली बात नहीं है. अगर आप ईयर को, ईयर और ईयर्स में फर्क होता है, ई और ईयर में फर्क है, एंड दूसरा वर्ल्ड, देयर इज अ वर्ल्ड और वर्ड में फर्क है.
But now I pronounce it right.
After I've corrected him so
Even
many
year
times.
and year.
Yeah.
So thanks.
So Rudy has got it from me, and उसका भी I think ही है. He also
And I'm
understand.
screwed. Okay. So coming to my next question, right? How's this motherhood thing going? I remember you used to get some nightmares. कि you used to think कि मैं बहुत बुरी माँ बनने वाली हूँ.
Yeah.
बहुत बुरी माँ.
So yeah, that is true, and I find it so funny. So yeah, before I had Rudraksh, and I think while we were in the process of conceiving, उस दौरान मुझे बहुत ऐसा फील होता था that I used to keep getting these nightmares that, you know, I went to a mall, I took my, like, you know, I went for shopping with my baby and I forgot my baby there and I'm coming back with my shopping bags. Oh my god, this was like a repetitive nightmare I would get for days before I actually conceived. And ऐसे ही incidents होते थे कि I am so terrible at mothering कि मैं अपने बच्चे को ही भूल गई हूँ. And after, of course, to answer your question कि how the motherhood is going, it's been 6 years of me becoming a mother, more than 6 years actually. And my world just changed upside down. It was like I was a whole new person altogether. And yeah, it was like the old Saru died and the new Saru was born, sort of. And instantly,
I can vouch for that.
Yeah, instantly there was this change in me that, I don't know, those nightmares was part of it. Ki, you know, that somewhere deep inside, I just wanted to ensure that I'm able to take care of my baby and my baby is safe with me. Because I had been a very carefree person. I won't say careless, carefree person. I had always been. मैं स्कूल के लिए हमेशा लेट होती थी, मैं अपनी चीजें भूल जाती थी, और मैं जब सोती थी, when I used to sleep, I used to sleep like a baby. और अगर घर पे कोई बेल कर रहा है, कोई आया है दरवाजे पे, I would have no clue of it, like no clue. And Sumit would say कि यार आपको पता ही नहीं लगता, थोड़े तो होश में रहा करो. And I think वो यही सारे incidents थे that I did realize कि मैं हूँ ऐसी, you know, I tend to, and then I was like कि मैं अपने बच्चे के लिए कब अगर मेरे, in fact, so बचपन में भी, like not बचपन, when I was in my 15-16 years old, our nephew would sleep, next to me and he would cry and everything. And Krishna would wake up. I would have no clue कि वो कब उठा, कब रोया, कब सुलाया उसको कृष्णा ने. And I was like, यार मेरा कभी बच्चा हुआ तो मुझे तो कोई होश ही नहीं होगी. But on the contrary, my senses just got, somehow the super aware. And I think रोना तो बहुत दूर की बात है, अगर वो जरा सा स्लाइट मूव भी करता था या जरा सा भी करता था तो मैं ऐसे उठ जाती थी. And and a lot of other things changed in me. I mean, I did become very responsible mother. I think मेरे अंदर जो fear था, I was just trying to make sure कि the child should not suffer from any of my lack of responsibilities. उसके वजह से मैं अपनी तरफ से कोशिश करती हूँ कि उसको एक अच्छा childhood दूं जितना मेरे से हो
you do
सके.
that. I can vouch for that as well. You do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So coming to your parenting style. Typical Punjabi family. I come from a typical Punjabi family. Ma Gabbar Singh, always ready with her hathyars, right?
Yeah.
Kabhi chappe, kabhi jutti. Can be anything.
Yeah.
It's gonna be surprise at that time. मैं ऐसी parenting style से बड़ा हुआ हूँ. Your family, mama papa's parenting style is let the kids be.
Yeah.
Let them do whatever they want.
Yeah.
The kind of freedom you guys had at that time, उस time पे I'm not seen, मतलब वैसे का freedom किसी भी बच्चों के पास हो. मैं लड़का था यार, मेरे पास नहीं था। मेरी माँ मेरे को रात को 8 बजे, अगर 8 बजे तक मैं घर नहीं पहुंचा, फोन करती थी, पुत्र कितने हैं? अरे मम्मा आ रहा हूँ। कभी कभी तो मैं चिढ़ जाता था। 10 बजे तो मतलब, अरे आया नहीं अभी तक।
Yeah.
And on the contrary, yours was totally different.
Yeah.
And now I see the way we are bringing up Rudy, I would say, उसमें भी थोड़ा डिफरेंस है उन दो पेरेंटिंग स्टाइल से। योर्स इज अ लिटिल डिफरेंट, राइट? तो कभी कभी हमारी आपस में थोड़ी सी नोकझोंक भी होती है उस पेरेंटिंग स्टाइल को लेके, है ना? बट व्हाई डू यू थिंक द पेरेंटिंग स्टाइल यू अडैप्टेड should be how it should be?
See, if I were to compare it's not about like, you know, your parents' parenting style was wrong or my
it wasn't like that. My parents didn't love me. My mom loves me like crazy.
It's not about loving. It's about doing what they know the best and how they have, you know, grown up. And also same as my parents. They did the best they could. And they just normally, I think, as a person, how you people are, आपका culture कैसा रहा है, and आप as a person, what kind of personality you have, ये सारी चीजें आपकी parenting में आती है। यही सारी आप चीजें आप अपनी parenting में, ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ किसी ने rules set करे हुए हैं और कोई उसको follow कर रहा है। Basic चीजें वही रहती हैं, but जो थोड़ा style है वो एक बंदे पे भी depend करता है। My dad again had no education and was hailing from a village from West Bengal. And उन्होंने भी बहुत वाइल्ड थिंग्स की अपनी लाइफ में, कि मतलब घर छोड़ के चले गए जब 14 साल के थे, मुंबई चले गए, वहां पे कुछ कर लूं, यहाँ पे कुछ कर लूं, दिल्ली आए, नेपाल गए। उस टाइम पर वो बहुत बड़ी बातें होती थी, और अपनी फैमिली को साथ में लेके, लाइक हम लोग 2-2 साल के थे जब हम लोग नेपाल में थे। एंड फ्रॉम देयर कमिंग टू लुधियाना, starting his own business, he had that zeal कि मुझे कुछ अपना करना है, I want to have a better lifestyle, and मैं अपने बच्चों को भी एक better life देना चाहता हूँ। उनके साथ बहुत लोगों ने शुरू किया, और वो आज भी वही है जहां उन्होंने शुरुआत की थी। But my dad has come a long way because of the way he is, and वही उनकी parenting में भी दिखता है, that he does let us make mistakes। कि आई थिंक पेरेंटिंग में सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम यही है कि हम नहीं चाहते कि हमारे बच्चे कोई गलती करे, बट उन्होंने इस चीज को, ठीक है यार कोशिश करो ना, करो, बिकॉज उन्होंने खुद अपनी लाइफ में इतनी गलतियां की हैं दैट ही फील्स कि वो गलतियों से आप कुछ सीखोगे अगर आप कुछ कर भी दोगे। और मोर ओवर आई थिंक जितना हम बोलते हैं बच्चे इवेंचुअली करते तो है वही। सो ही आल्सो प्रोबेबली नोज इट। सो आई थिंक यही चीजें उन्होंने अपनी पेरेंटिंग में भी करी है, प्लान। इट हैज हेल्प्ड both of us sisters a lot, immensely, in whatever we are today. And but मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं उन्होंने फ्रीडम दी है जिसका फायदा भी हुआ है, बट नुकसान भी थे उस टाइम पर। प्रोज एंड कॉन्स दोनों थे। बहुत सारी छोटी छोटी चीजें थी जिसकी वजह से मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि यहाँ पे शायद ये चीज रेगुलेट होनी चाहिए थी। लाइक डिसिप्लिन नहीं था हमारी लाइफ में, एंड टिल डेट वो नहीं है। मैं नहीं ला पाई हूँ एटलीस्ट अपनी लाइफ में अभी तक। एंड वो चीज मुझे जरूर फील होती है कि अगर, एंड आई एम वर्किंग ऑन इट, बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर शायद डिसिप्लिन होता तो मैं शायद आज थोड़ा और भी बेटर कुछ कर रही होती। लाइक टाइम मैनेजमेंट, डिसिप्लिन, दीज आर द cons that we had. I mean, growing up we didn't have any of it. So ये चीज मुझे जरूर, इनकी फैमिली में ये चीज थी कि डिसिप्लिन बहुत ज्यादा था। तो मेरी पेरेंटिंग इज अ मिक्स ऑफ बोथ, कि मैंने रूदी का एक डिसिप्लिन, एक रूटीन रखा हो, मेरा रूटीन होना हो, उसका रूटीन एक फ्लो होना चाहिए। एंड उसका भी एक रीजन है, मतलब वो बचपन में ही जैसा वो था, मतलब या बच्चे जैसे भी होते हैं, अगर बच्चों को कोई फ्लो या रूटीन ना हो, दे टेंड टू गेट इवन मोर क्रैंकियर व्हेन दे डोंट नो व्हाट दे आर गोइंग टू डू नेक्स्ट। दे गेट बोर्ड एंड दे विल डू एंड अप थिंग्स एंड आस्किंग फॉर थिंग्स दैट यू डोंट वांट देम टू। तो एक वो फ्लो, एटलीस्ट एक डिसिप्लिन नहीं है तो एक फ्लो होना चाहिए, एक रिदम। तो वो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वो चीजें मैंने रियलाइज की, कुछ मैंने पढ़ी। नेवर एंडिंग प्रोसेस टू इम्प्रूव योरसेल्फ। तो वही चीज मैं अपनी पेरेंटिंग में भी फॉलो कर रही हूँ, विच इज व्हाई आई फील लाइक कि ये जरूरी है एक दोनों का बैलेंस, कि अपने बच्चों को फ्रीडम भी दो टू मेक मिस्टेक्स, उनको ज्यादा करेक्ट मत करो, बट एट द सेम टाइम उनको एक थोड़ा सा एक डिसिप्लिन भी होना चाहिए। और टाइम मैनेजमेंट और ये सारी चीजें भी होनी चाहिए, तो एक वो दोनों का बैलेंस होना बहुत जरूरी है.
कभी कभी हमारा डिसएग्रीमेंट भी होता है when he's arguing that I don't want to do certain thing, right? And we as a parent know that it's important for him to do that.
Yeah.
You are trying to make him understand that, right? In your own way, है ना? उसको समझाने की कोशिश करते हैं, नहीं ये तो करना है बेटा, ऐसे करना है वैसे करना है.
Yeah.
You deal with that thing with a lot of patience.
Yeah.
मेरे में नहीं है. मैं 1 मिनट देखूंगा, 2 मिनट देखूंगा उसको, मैं तीसरे मिनट में यही बोलता हूँ ये करना है. That's it.
Yeah.
End of this argument.
Sometimes हाँ अथॉरिटी होनी चाहिए कुछ चीजों को लेकर.
हाँ कुछ चीजों को लेकर, not in everything.
Yeah. My thing is that with Rudraksh, like whatever till date, be it drawing, painting, Legos, whatever he has done, like he likes doing so far to utilize his time or to learn something new. I feel like first you as a parent need to be involved. You can't just push your child into doing something कि ये करना है आपको equally उसमें involved होना पड़ता है, especially in the initial phase of it.
Yeah.
Like Rudy को pencil पकड़ना ही बहुत वो लगता था. He never used to like drawing. He never used to like. He would always scribble. Okay. Till the age of 4 also, he will start something and then he will lose patience.
Yeah.
And then he will start scribbling like this. And मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि क्यों नहीं इसको पसंद ना? Like 4 years old, do like to draw certain things. And मैं इसकी class में बैठती थी. All the children would draw except him. But then I thought maybe this is something he doesn't like, so it's okay. But what happened during lockdown? I started drawing. I didn't ask him to draw. I started drawing because I love drawing. I started drawing with him, and he started getting that motivation. Ki acha, mama is not asking me, but he would be like,
he started competing as well with you.
He started competing as well, and today, like the way I would draw that, mama, your drawing looks very real. I also want to draw like that, and he would get frustrated like anything, but he would keep trying. He started watching videos, YouTube videos, also tutorials to how to draw certain characters and everything. So basically, I feel that when you want your kids to be involved in something, you want them to do, you have to be equally passionate about it. Yeah. Otherwise, you can't just force them, and especially this generation, आप उनको force नहीं कर सकते हो, because we want them to, because हम उनको उस तरह से raise कर रहे हैं कि they are so confident, they already know what they like, they already know what they don't like, and वहीं पे हम contradict कर रहे हैं कि यार you also need to do whatever you have been told. तो वहां पे हम अपनी ही बात को contradict कर रहे हैं कि जो तुम्हें बोला जाता है ना बेटा तुम्हें वो करना पड़ेगा. वो पेरेंट
नहीं यार, हर जगह नहीं जो तुम्हें बोला जाता करना पड़ेगा, कुछ चीजों में तो करना पड़ेगा यार.
अब जहाँ पे मुझे लगता है कि हाँ यहाँ पे अब जैसे उसको चॉकलेट नहीं खाने देनी, या उसका स्क्रीन टाइम अभी बंद करना है, या सर्टेन थिंग्स व्हिच आर बिग नोज, वहां पे आपको अपनी बाउंड्री सेट करनी ही पड़ेगी. देयर यू हैव टू सेट अ बाउंड्री.
अब मेरे को स्क्रीन टाइम से कोई दिक्कत नहीं है क्योंकि मैं तो खुद, तो मेरे को उस चीज पे दिक्कत होती है.
बट यू हैव टू ड्रॉ अ लाइन.
Yeah, I
because
know.
He has the capacity to keep watching, and he will not like to do anything. उसको मत बोलो, वो तो सारा दिन बैठ के टीवी देखेगा.
True.
Right. But there you have to draw a line. Basically, you have to choose your battles कि यहाँ पर तो it's a strict no, and he also knows कि ये तो यहाँ पे मेरी नहीं चलने वाली. But then you can't make that true for everything. There you have to give them exposure, encouragement, but at the same time, if you feel that okay, he has been pushed enough, encouraged enough, but still he doesn't want to do it, so maybe let me not push it too far. Maybe this is something he doesn't like, or probably if he does, and if he get that environment, maybe he might develop it in the future. But इस चीज का झंडा लेके कि मुझे तो सिखानी है, that means that is your ego that is coming. Like it happened with skating.
Yeah.
I tried a lot. We tried a lot. He did skating for almost like 10 days. He went to the class. He was not able to do it because he was not enjoying it. He's like, why do I even need to learn it? I don't want to do it.
हाँ, उसका सीधा ये होता है. Why do I even want to need to learn it? I don't want to.
Yeah. And वहाँ पे फिर उसको एक समझाना, वहाँ पे लॉजिक देना जरूरी होता है, और उसके बाद भी अगर बच्चा नहीं करना चाहता, that means it's clearly not his thing. So that's what I believe. But yeah, I think वो हम जो balance कर देते हैं, so that is also fine. Sometimes you put your foot down that okay, this is how it is. I think that's also important sometimes. And
Yeah.
that's why I don't
You don't get in between.
get in between.
At least when I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
Afterwards, of course,
Exactly.
we have our own arguments.
Yeah.
But yes, during that time, if you are saying something to him, I don't come in between. And when I'm saying something to him, you don't come in between. So yeah, that is how it should be, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. So people say that you should pursue your goals, your dreams, and wo karo the things which you're passionate about. Find your passion. कभी-कभी वो पैशन ढूंढते ढूंढते भी टाइम लग जाता है. मेरे को आज तक नहीं समझ में आया मेरा क्या पैशन है. सीरियसली 40 साल का हो चुका हूं. और मतलब what about you? How's your journey? Have you found your passion yet? Or you're still trying to find it? Or if you found it, you're working on it. What do you think?
Passion, I think एक होता है कि एक interest की बात होती है, like you know what you're doing, how much interest do you have in it, and also passion तो किसी में भी चीज में भी हो सकता है. You know, you could be doing everything, like if the work that you do, if it's not interesting enough for you, then you won't do it passionately. I think if that is the way it is, then I have found my passion. Okay. Because I'm very passionate about what I'm doing. I love doing it. It doesn't feel like work or a task to me. I'm excited about every day. Recently, I read somewhere, you know, if you wake up every morning excited about your day and what you're going to do, that means you're on the right path. Yeah, true that. So for me, it is very true. I do make plans. And the best part is that every day is different for me. Every day, it's up to me how I want it to be, because it's so simple that, you know.
And I'm a little jealous.
That I could make it a very productive day. Of course, there are days when it's not in my hands. Like, you know, even if I'm not feeling like, and there's an urgent shoot that I have to do, there's some event that where I have to be, then it's not under my control. But that's very, you know, not
once in a while.
Once in a while. But mostly I'm able to plan those as well. Like, you know, when I'm working on a project, usually we do get a preference of when we can shoot and when we don't. Yeah. So I really like that, and this is something I always wanted. I wanted to live my life in my own terms, and I still want to live my life in my own terms, no matter what I'm doing. Of how I want to pursue it, how I want to spend my time. If I want to just take a break and go for a vacation, I should be able to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know, when I was working in the corporate, I hated the fact that, you know, my vacation is going to be over and I have to go back to that same old cubicle and do work on those things that I don't give a shit about. You know, coming back from a vacation and going to the office used to sound like or Mondays used to feel like, you know, such a big task. क्यों करना है मुझे? I don't want to do this.
मेरा रहा है. I don't know, people say Monday blues. Yeah. एक time पे होता था मेरे को भी Monday blues.
I've always had
But मेरे को अब नहीं होता Monday blues, right?
Good.
But I know this for a fact कि what I'm doing, I like it, but it's not my passion. Yeah. It's not my passion at all. I'm not passionate about it. Yeah. So coming back to the question. Yeah. So you found your passion, you think?
Yes, absolutely. And I think it will keep evolving also with time. There are different projects that I have in my mind that I want to do. There are so many other things that I want to do. But the idea of that, you know, I can use my creativity basically into something. I can put in my ideas and I can put in my creativity into something and, you know, make something that excites me. Whether it's fashion, it's beauty, or content creation, giving out a message that I want to do, convey to my, or, you know, portraying it creatively through a video. These things excite me. This is sheer creativity, and I love it. I love what I do.
You know why I have started this, right?
Exactly.
I think that this is my passion, talking to people.
Yeah.
Talking to people,
Exactly.
knowing about life
Yeah.
and what are people doing in their lives,
Exactly.
how they cope up with different situations, with different things at different times.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, I love doing that, and probably that is my passion. I'm still finding, I'm not sure.
I mean, I used to be so surprised, and I love that about him, that he could talk to anyone in anywhere. Like when we were in Dubai, and he was talking to that driver, who was from Pakistan. I enjoyed that conversation. That he could strike a conversation, and honestly, I'm not like that. Like I can't
You
just
two are
talk.
totally opposite.
Yeah, I
in
mean, I
this.
love socializing, but अगर मेरे मतलब की बात और मेरे मतलब के लोग नहीं है तो मैं शायद उतनी बात नहीं कर पाऊंगी. With me, it is the case. But with him, he can talk to anyone about anything, and I really like that about him, that he can open up, and I really feel comfortable when he's with me, with some group people that I am not very comfortable with, and I know that he's there, he will keep talking, and I won't have to worry. I don't have to, worry about making small talks and start a conversation or anything. So yeah, he fills the gap for me. So yes, I think you have finally, I think, found your passion.
I'm still not sure. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, so let's talk about this social media thing and the reality behind it. I mean, difference between social media life and real life. What do you think? What's the difference? Because I feel there's a huge difference. But people think that, what they see on social media is actually the reality. Like someone would see, oh, such an amazing family. Oh, such a cute couple. Oh my God, couple goals. So is it like that, or what are your thoughts behind it?
First of all, who's thinking that social media life is actually the reality? I think these days people are sane enough to realize that it's actually not. Sometimes do get influenced by the other person's lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's fake, it's there. But there are other parts of that person's life that we don't see. I mean, it would be sheer stupidity if we believe that that's that person's whole life. You have created an illusion for yourself in that case.
No, but the thing is, what I feel is that there are still people who get FOMOs looking at other people's content on social media.
Yeah.
Who do feel that their lives suck.
Yeah.
And other person's life is way better. क्योंकि वो content देखते हैं social media पे. You say that most of the people are sane. But what I feel is that no, it's not like that. Most of the people get affected actually.
Yeah.
One way or the other way. Some gets more.
Yeah.
Some people get less affected, but they do get affected because of the social media life, the whole thing.
Exactly. No, you're right. I think what I was talking about is that it's actually very obvious, because they also, when they are putting out content or anything, they, even if you're not a content creator, even if you're just capturing a moment, you're on a holiday and everything, that's the time when your camera comes out mostly, right? But when you're in a sad moment, when you're in a very bad moment of your life, you won't capture that moment for yourself.
Exactly.
Right? So just understand that mostly what you will see on internet will be the best times of that person's life. That would be the best part of their life that they're showcasing to you.
Even not the best parts of their life. Sometimes you just have to, when the camera is on, you just have to be ready, camera ready.
Exactly.
No matter what mood you were in like 2 minutes ago.
Exactly.
And that happens so many times with us. And that one incident which always comes to my mind is when we were shooting, we were clicking pictures and all, with our photographer, and we were not in a good mood at all, because Rudy was creating such a big fuss. He was getting on your nerves, and you were so frustrated, and I got frustrated because you were frustrated.
I think it happens. It's very natural that you won't always be, and as a content creator, because the part of your profession is to be in front of the camera, and sometimes the situations are not according to what you
Exactly.
would be ideally what they should be.
Yeah.
So that it happens that those mood swings and happens, but then the moment the camera is on, you have to put that face aside, and you have to be the presentable self.
And we got one of the best family pictures.
Best family pictures, exactly.
At that time, right? It's a beautiful picture, and I'll show it to you.
Exactly, you should show it to them. But also I put that in a in a carousel. I put it in a carousel wherein I actually showed all the pictures which I otherwise would have discarded. That this is how life goes.
Okay, so you did put those pictures in a carousel. I don't remember that.
Yeah, in fact, you commented on that also, that you did put all those pictures. So yeah, basically, just wanted to show that it can be sometimes chaotic, and it does happen with everyone, and it's completely normal, and it's not just the content creators should be blamed for creating this fake versions of themselves. It's not fake. It's just that some people, some influencers, they are not comfortable in showing their vulnerabilities or their failures in front of the camera, and that's completely okay. It's completely their choice. They want to just show that part of themselves to their their friends or family with whom they're comfortable, and we can't just blame them. And on the other hand, if someone is is okay to show their vulnerability and failures in front of the society, that is also completely fine. I think those both should be normalized. It's not that this influencer is so good because she shows everything, and but XYZ does not, is she so fake? It's not that fake, it's just that person chooses to keep a personal life.
Exactly.
We definitely should not assume that whatever we see on social media is the whole truth,
is the reality.
Absolutely not. I mean, of course, part of it is true, but part of it could be scripted or edited in so many ways,
right?
Exactly.
So like today,
yeah,
when we started to shoot this podcast, अभी आप लोगों को देखने लग रहा है कि how cool we are.
Yeah, exactly.
Just before we started, 5-10 minutes back, we were having argument.
Exactly. Sumit was getting all anxious about starting the podcast, and he was like, "Jaldi aao," and I was just making sure that Rudraksh is, he doesn't interrupt. So that's where we had a sort of
argument.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Not argument, but thoda mood off ho gaya tha.
And I was like, okay, let's shoot it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's forget it.
But the moment I think the camera was on, we were totally fine, and it's not that we are faking it. But
exactly.
I feel that the camera does put you in a good mood, even if you don't want to smile, even if you don't want to. But the moment the camera is on, you get that zone on that. Okay, I have to. You come out of your shell that otherwise you're not able to.
Okay, so we know you are successful, right? Okay. You are successful in your own industry, right? And you have a name and people know you, although there's still a long way to go.
Exactly.
I know your goals and all, so that is what I'm saying. It's a long way to go.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? Let's talk about your failures.
Okay.
What do you think your failures in life are, where you have failed, or you failed as a person in a relationship, or at something, probably you wanted to do, but you weren't able to achieve, and you think could be anything, like, the failure mainly?
I think I wouldn't really say that, I failed at this thing so terribly, because this is something, it's a continuous process. So I know what my weaknesses are, like I know what, where I lack, in life as a person, or as a, what I want to do, where I lack. And that's a continuous process where you trying to make, like, like how we were discussing about having a discipline and having that consistency in life to do something, to pursue something. So these are, I think, some things that I'm lacking, and I'm working on it. So I wouldn't call it a failure until I totally give up.
Yeah, but that is what my question is.
Coming to that, I do have. But having said that,
Like, you are right when you say that if you have not given up,
as
you
long as,
can't consider yourself a failure
like for example,
because you're still trying.
exactly. For example, YouTube.
Hmm.
I started it.
Hmm.
I couldn't keep up with it.
Hmm.
I had too many things going on. So you can say that I failed at it. But at the same time, now I think I might start again with something else on YouTube, like the kind of content we are creating. I might do some sit down talking videos, which I already had in mind that I don't want I don't want to do vlogs on YouTube anymore, but I do want to create some other kind of content. So I haven't totally given up on that as well.
Yeah. So again, let's not consider it. You failed at. So you think that if the person keeps trying, that doesn't mean that person has failed, right? Because the person is still in the process of trying, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're not giving up,
right,
you haven't failed. I mean, like I said, there are so many things that I'm lacking in myself that I think I need to work on myself. Like I said, discipline for that matter, or in consistency.
Right.
All these things are my weaknesses. I mean, I need to work on it, and I wouldn't say that, but I have failed.
Because you're still trying. So that's what you think, that the mantra is that you don't give up. Until the time you don't give up, you are not a failure. You haven't failed at anything.
Absolutely.
That's true, actually. That's very well said, right? And I would agree that till the time you don't give up, how can you consider yourself a failure?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you suggested, and as we discussed, we have this segment, and I really like the suggestion. So, Saru or any of my guests who are going to come on my podcast are going to ask one question, not two or three.
Okay.
One question to me, and they can ask me anything, and I'll be in the hot seat now. So go ahead.
I thought it'll be a good idea कि the host को भी एक बार hot seat पे डाला जाए. Okay. So my question to you is, what is your biggest insecurity even today?
Yeah.
About yourself or just in general?
Right.
And why?
Okay.
And what are you doing about it? Yeah.
So
I thought एक ही question है तो better be something.
Right. It's an amazing question. So my biggest insecurity, I would say, is that I don't want to be that guy who I was when I was like 14, 16, 18, 25, 30, 35 probably. I don't want to go back in the past and be the same guy again, because in all the phases of life, I worked on myself, on my things. Okay, when I was 16, 18, or during that time, I was this tall. I was 6'3" already when I cleared my 10th standard. I was in college, and I was this tall, and I was not even 60 kgs, right? So my biggest insecurity is I don't want to look like that again. First of all, that's my physical insecurity, because I used to feel I had lots of issues. I had inferiority complex, big time. And I used to feel that whatever I wear, I don't look good. Things like that, Girls don't look at me, of course. Being a teenager or that 16, 18-year-old, you feel that way. So I worked really hard to get out of it. And that was the reason the day I saw the gym in my office itself, and I knew that I can, put in some money. इतना कमा लेता हूँ कि थोड़ा सा मैं अपनी डाइट पे खर्च कर सकता हूँ. The same day I started gymming, and I didn't look back. Because that thing was so much in my mind, so much inside me, that I fought it really hard. So insecurity is, I don't want to be that guy again. Look like that. Being very honest, I'm so sorry, I'm just talking about looks, but it does matter. At least to me, it's my insecurity, right?
Yeah.
Now coming to, after I worked on myself, my looks and everything, I was already modeling. I was already doing ramp shows for designers. I did Mr. India as well by that time. So that insecurity probably was
Faded
gone.
away. Yeah.
Was gone, right? That complex, not insecurity. Insecurity is still there. The complex was gone. The inferiority
Why that insecurity is still there? I mean, if you are, you're working on yourself and everything.
That is the reason I'm still working on myself. That insecurity pushes me to go to gym every day, to work on my diet every day. That insecurity is probably my motivation, my reason. That insecurity gave me discipline.
Very well said.
Yeah. So, yes, I am insecure about it. I don't want to look a certain way. And the other insecurity is we were in a relationship at that time, and we've had our very hard times. And I was very controlling, and I used to not understand, but I would still say that it was mutual. Probably you were very young. That is why. And I was a certain kind of person who would think that my opinion, what I'm talking about, is a fact.
Yeah.
Right? That was my mindset at that time. There is a big difference between an opinion and a fact. Fact is a fact. It's there. Opinion is different for everyone. Right? Somebody can, just तुम्हारी opinion के साथ someone can actually, हाँ सही बोल रहा है. But there will be people who won't understand, who would say नहीं तुम गलत बोल रहे हो क्योंकि उनकी opinion अलग है.
Exactly.
Right? मैं वैसा था. मेरे को मेरी opinions fact लगते थे. और मैं controlling बहुत था. Aggression तो खैर मेरे में आज भी बहुत ज्यादा है. आज भी है. और ट्राई करता हूँ आई पुट दैट एनर्जी समवेयर एल्स, राइट. बट उस चीज को ओवरकम करने में यू डिड हेल्प मी अ लॉट. ओवरकम करने में कि यार हर बंदे की अपनी ओपिनियन होती है. तुम किसी पे अपनी ओपिनियन थोप नहीं सकते हो. तुम किसी को कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते हो. तुम्हें कैसा लगेगा अगर कोई तुम्हें कंट्रोल कर रहा है. तुम ये पहनो, तुम वो पहनो, तुम यहां नहीं जाओगे, तुम वहां नहीं जाओगे, तुम ऐसे कैसे कर सकते हो. सो वो चीज समझने में और उसको अंडरस्टैंड करने में और उसके बाद टू मेक पीस विद इट, वो फाइट मैंने की है. वो फाइट मैंने की है. अब वो इनसिक्योरिटी अभी भी क्यों है? क्योंकि मैं दोबारा से वो इंसान नहीं बनना चाहता. It did cost me a lot of mental peace.
But you have already, understood. I mean, physical, I think insecurity, chalo, I understand that insecurity is still there, that if you stop working out on yourself, or if you stop working on yourself, it might come back. But this thing you have already, learned. This guy being in that relationship. So why do you think?
Okay. If I stop going to gym, there is a chance that I can get back to that person. If I stop working on my mental thing, where I'm still fighting that I can't be that person.
Right.
If I stop fighting, it can come back. It can come back, and you got to understand that it was not right. Good part is, I'm mature enough. I've seen life enough. I'm experienced enough.
You have your wisdom.
That, yes, that I can't be that person. First of all, that thought is good, that I can't be that person at any cost. Okay? That thought is there, right? But अगर वो thought पे मैं काम करना ही बंद कर दूंगा, there is a chance I can get to be that person again.
Of course.
There is a good chance. And that is what that sometimes make me insecure. Life में कुछ भी ऐसा हो सकता है जो उसको trigger कर सकता है दोबारा से. और तुम वापस वही इंसान बना. It's a constant fight.
It's a constant learning.
Work on yourself. Constant working on yourself. Constant fight. But you got to realize first.
Yeah. That realization needs to come.
Is very important. That is why it's very important to keep learning and keep evolving.
Exactly.
And no matter what happens in life, if you're wise enough, if you're mature enough, वो जितना मर्जी हार्ड टाइम था, कुछ टाइम के बाद वो तुम्हें बहुत कुछ सिखा के जाता है. There are so many learnings in that time as well.
Exactly.
Okay. So yeah, these are my insecurities. I don't want to be that person. And I keep fighting it, and I keep constantly fighting it, and keep constantly working on myself.
As long as you are mentally prepared to sort of work on yourself and your problems, I think that's when you know that no matter what happens in life, you'll get there, you get through it.
Yeah.
That's why learning and evolving is
very important. Very important. Unlearning and learning.
Unlearning is even more important.
More important.
And even more difficult, because it's a concept when there's something that you know do, learn, or do something that is that you have mastered in so much that you know your brain does it in automatic mode. Now you don't have to make an effort to do that. You don't have to make an effort to be that person. So that's called neuroplasticity. So wo jab ho jati hai na, that means that's your core habit, your core behavior. And to break that and to unlearn that is a tough process. It's a very tough
process.
That's called unlearning.
Yeah.
And that's the most difficult. And I think this is where I think you have done an amazing job in unlearning, because like you said, you know, that was causing a lot of problem in our relationship because of the thought process you had. But you realized that, you know, this thought process, this mindset is not helping a relationship. So you decided to unlearn and learn some other way of you know, living a life. So I hope, how was your hot seat for a while?
It was good, and it was a nice question. Your question hurt me.
I think you've always spoken about it.
Yeah,
and,
I did talk about it on my Instagram as well once.
Right.
My insecurities.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good question. I loved it, and thank you so much for your question. And thank you so much for coming all the way from the next room to this room. I really hope I really hope that it wasn't that hard of a journey with all these big heels you're wearing.
The people can't even see it probably, but here it is.
Okay.
I chose to wear it, even though it gives you, you know, a feel that you're actually going for an interview and all.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I had a great time, even though we love talking to each other, but talking to each other in this way and learning new things about ourselves is also amazing. It has been, I loved it basically.
Okay, same here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really hope you guys also loved our podcast, and the main motive of this podcast is to learn new things from each other, जो हमें हमारी लाइफ को बेटर करने में हेल्प कर सकता है.
Yeah.
So we try, and the other thing is I also try to make sure कि यार मतलब सभी की जिंदगी में दुख है, सभी की जिंदगी में सुख भी है, खुशियां भी हैं, कोई अलग नहीं है. चाहे वो बिग टाइम सेलिब्रिटीज, चाहे वो आपका बिल गेट्स ही क्यों ना हो, उसकी जिंदगी में अंबानी क्यों ना हो, उनकी जिंदगी में बहुत दुख है, उनकी जिंदगी में बहुत सुख है, खुशियां भी हैं. So वो हर एक की जिंदगी में है. It's part of life, and you got to live with it, and you got to understand that सबकी लाइफ ऑलमोस्ट एक जैसी ही होती है. किसी की जिंदगी में कभी खुशी है, किसी की जिंदगी में कभी गम है. So yeah, that's the main motive of this podcast, and I really hope I cater to that motive with which I have started it. And you guys learn few things from this podcast with Saru, right? So keep watching, keep loving, keep supporting, and do not forget to subscribe to the Punjabis channel, because the Punjabis have taken over. Punjabis have taken over.
Do not subscribe.
हाँ, बता रहा हूँ, सब्सक्राइब कर लेना, ठीक है? बस ऐसे बोल दे, धमकी दे दी. सब्सक्राइब कर लेना और घंटा बजा देना यार, प्लीज 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 प्लीज. ठीक है, अब मैंने विनती भी कर ली है, ठीक है?
ओके गाइस, या कर लेना, इतने प्यार से बोल रहे हैं, इतनी मिन्नतियां कर रहे हैं, जो भी
मिन्नतियां कर रहे हैं. गॉड, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग गाइस, लव यू ऑल, टेक केयर, बाय.